You're watching Saturday Storytime, 16 January 2021 edition. Welcome back to Saturday Storytime, and we're going to start with tweets that didn't age well. This is a triple conjunction between Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury, and it happened last Sunday. But if you follow me on Twitter, you would have known about it. All right. Now, this one might age well if it's still Saturday the 16th and it's not 5 p.m. Eastern, so you want to watch Saturday Storytime as soon as it comes out. But NASA is set to light up the Artemis moon rocket for a hot fire test Saturday the 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern. This is the last of the tests, a full hot fire burn for 8 minutes, blasting through 733,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. All right, good luck. As an added bonus, I'm tossing in this article, 10 most powerful rockets ever built. Make sure to look for the link down below to my blog, where you'll find all the URLs to the stories we're talking about this week. A massive sinkhole almost closed this hospital in Italy. This is outside of Naples. Massive sinkhole opened last Friday, swallowing at least 3 cars. Fortunately, it was just the visitors' parking lot, but it also forced them to evacuate homes nearby, including a residence where COVID patients were recovering. It briefly cut electricity and water to the hospital, but they were able to restore it. They could have lost all of their power, so that's kind of a scary thought. This is a 21,527 square foot hole that's 66 feet deep. I don't know, but they're saying it's almost certain that the rainwater from the past few days caused seepage that resulted in the collapse. It's a bigger hole than I would expect from rainwater seepage. So now for those amazing animals. First of all, we go back to the ancient Megalodon. This is the prehistoric shark, and Megalodon babies ate their unhatched siblings in the womb. One of the most terrifying aquatic predators to ever stalk the Earth's oceans, reaching up to 50 feet long, 15 meters. The Megalodon birthed only the largest babies, but they achieved that size in part to eating their unhatched siblings. Researchers determined this by using CT scanning techniques and reconstructing 3D structures representing fossils of these animals, and they determined the size of the animal at birth to be about 6.6 feet. It's almost certain in this sibling rivalry that they had to eat their way to success. Even fish have been replaced by robots. They've developed these tiny schooling aquatic robots. They have 2 cameras for 3D computer vision. They're able to ascertain distance, direction, and heading of each other. Let's check in on the video here. I'm going to mute it in case there's some copyright music in the background. I got busted for that a couple of weeks ago. You know, some people watch aquarium videos on YouTube to relax, so those fish in those fake YouTube aquariums have been replaced with robots. So you can watch this and relax here. All right, that's enough of that. Sadly, this queen raven at the Tower of London is feared dead after being missing for several weeks. 7 ravens currently reside at the tower. Merlina the raven is missing. The continued absence of the bird, who's been part of the flock since 2007, indicates that sadly she may have passed away. These ravens have a long-standing mythical background. It's thought that if they depart from the tower, it would lead to the downfall of both the fortress and the kingdom. Merlina has previously left the tower, but she's always returned. Part of the mythology requires 6 ravens at the tower, but they have 7 right now, so they don't need to fill the vacancy right away. There is no word whether she got bored playing with these robot fish or whether or not she ate the raven at the Tower of London. Stay tuned. Paging Mulder and Scully. Now, you can get all of the CIA UFO documents to date. This is thanks to a website, the Black Vault. It's a clearinghouse for declassified documents. The site's founder, John Greenwald Jr., has filed thousands of Freedom of Information Act reports to obtain PDFs of these documents. He's been doing this for over 20 years. I hope they're not all fully redacted. This can't be good news. Apparently cancer cells can hibernate during chemotherapy. They slow down into a low-maintenance, drug-tolerant persister state. So they slow dividing to conserve energy to help them survive. It appears that this allows them to withstand harsh environments. But it's good we know about this. Perhaps we can come up with some new strategy to attack them. Oh sure, where's my George Jetson space car? As always, the Consumer Electronics Show attracts special features such as these concept cars. Here you see Cadillacs come out with a driverless electric shuttle, and also an automatic drone. So you can take your driverless electric shuttle to the drone pad for a lift. I don't think I'll ever get to see one of these. This is an interesting article. NASA reportedly detects signals coming from one of Jupiter's moons. This is Ganymede. And it's an FM radio signal. So FM is like a straight waveform that is modulated within that waveform. It's a very interesting natural occurrence. They say it's not ET. It's more of a natural function. The signals are likely caused by electrons oscillating at a lower rate than their spin, amplifying radio waves considerably. The process is known as cyclotron-maser instability. It's also behind auroras on Jupiter that Juno observed in 2017. So they're not surprised by this. We have known about this decametric radio emission emanating from Jupiter since the 60s. These signals roughly coincide with Wi-Fi signals we use here on Earth. Juno is zipping along at 50 kilometers per second, and it was able to spot this radio transmission for 5 seconds while it's orbiting Jupiter. This French Bordeaux wine has been on the International Space Station for a year, and last Tuesday, the SpaceX Cargo Dragon returned to the waters off Tampa, carrying this case of French Bordeaux, hundreds of grapevines, mice, and 3D engineered heart tissues. The astronauts didn't get to enjoy any of this apparently. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin aims to fly passengers into space as early as April. This comes after their latest test of the new Shepard rocket booster and capsule. This one was called NS-14. This is a debut of a new booster and an upgraded capsule. So both the booster and the capsule return to Earth safely. This is the first of 2 stable configuration test flights, meaning they don't plan on making any major changes to the configuration. They're going to have another test flight within 6 weeks, or by late February. And the first crewed flight could be 6 weeks after that, or by early April. This is an exciting space race. And of course, not to be outdone, SpaceX wins the contract for lunar lander missions. This is Intuitive Machines. It will launch its IM-2 lunar lander mission carrying a set of NASA payloads. It's going to land in the south polar region of the moon, and this is part of the Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. So NASA's paying these commercial companies to explore the moon in advance of the Artemis missions. And congratulations to SpaceX. I don't know who's keeping track, but NASA Curiosity rover marks 3,000 days on Mars with an extreme panorama. Curiosity landed on Mars on October 6, 2012. So a Martian day is slightly longer than a day on Earth, 24 hours and 39 minutes. So they track Curiosity's activities based on these sols. That's what they call a day on Mars. So they marked this special occasion with the release of this glorious panorama. Let's take a look. Zoom in a little bit and pan back and forth. It's a lovely photograph. Again, make sure to look for the link down below to my blog with the URLs to all these stories. This may be the oldest supermassive black hole yet. Just 670 million years after the Big Bang, this quasar J0313-1806 was born. It's the most distant black hole ever discovered. It's 13.03 billion light years away, and it contains a supermassive black hole 1.6 billion times bigger than our Sun. It's from a time when the universe was just 670 million years old, 5% of our current estimated age of the universe. This was announced during the 237th meeting of the American Astronomical Society. Quasars are extremely bright objects, the brightest in the universe. They lie at the center of galaxies, but at their own center lies a supermassive black hole. The intense gravity surrounding the hole captures gas and dust, potentially ripping apart stars and leaving a trail of debris in a disk that encircles it. These debris whip around at incredible speeds and expel extreme amounts of energy. This J0313-1806 shines 1,000 times brighter than the entire Milky Way. This is an interesting theory. They propose that black holes aren't collapsed stars, but instead vast quantities of cold hydrogen gas in a cloud. So it's a direct collapse theory. This is why we find such massive black holes early in the universe. It's gobbling up the equivalent of 25 suns every year, so it's still growing. Quasars presumably are still in the process of building supermassive black holes. Oh, there's going to be a new space telescope. The James Webb Space Telescope is slated to launch in October, and this could give us another window into the early universe. Okay, thanks for watching Saturday's Storytime. Look for the link in the description down below to my blog where you'll find all of the URLs to these stories we just talked about. Thank you, and have a great week. Thank you for watching Shitoku Tech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.